Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are getting it done. We are going to finish up the beginner series. So it's going to be a series of videos to add to my beginner makeup series for you guys who are beginners and who are learning how to get into makeup. So first off, if you're here and you haven't watched the beginner makeup kit, 5 drugstore products for your starter makeup kit, make sure you go ahead and click the link up here so you can check out that video so you're aware of what products we'll be utilizing today. I will also be mentioning a few different products as well. And also, if you have not seen the brushes and tools video, I'll link it up here. And that is the video that I explain a affordable brush set that you can use as a beginner, as well as some other tools that you can use. So if you're interested in this video, just keep on watching. Okay, so today's video is actually gonna cover moisturizing your face and primers before you do your makeup. So basically, when you go to do your makeup, you wanna start on a clean face. So my face is freshly washed after I washed my face with African black soap. I used cold water to rinse it off, and then I used Sea Breeze or like a facial toner with a cotton pad just to tone my skin. Other than that, I have not moisturized or anything like that. And e.l.f., which stands for Eyes, Lip, Face, if you never knew that, e.l.f. Cosmetics, they have a lot of different primers and moisturizers for the skin that I definitely recommend. But I just don't have them all on hand right here. But I'll tell you one moisturizer that I really like that doesn't leave my skin oily or anything like that is the Mario Badescu oil-free moisturizer. And I do apologize for how the packaging looks. It's just in with my makeup, so it got brown, but it's usually white. And you can get this from Ulta. And I don't think it's a little bit pricier than like a $5 or $6 thing, but you don't have to use this. This is just a good one if you're wanting to invest in a good moisturizer. Some people use like Cetaphil from Walmart, or like I said, you can try an e.l.f. moisturizer. So the purpose of moisturizing the skin, and I'm no cosmetologist, I'm no makeup artist, I am no skincare expert, this is just my experience. So the reason why you want to moisturize your face is because if you have if your face is really dry, your skin is gonna kind of produce more oil to compensate for the dryness. So I know my skin used to be dry skin because I would use so many different products trying to combat my acne and scarring and things like that, that it would dry my skin out. So that's how I kind of transitioned between having oily skin to now having a little bit normal to combination skin. So when I had oily skin, I was thinking like powders. We got to powder this down so we don't become oily. But sometimes when you add too much powder on your face or like mattifying products, even if you have oily skin, your skin is gonna be dried down by those products. And then your skin is gonna overcompensate with even more oil to combat the dryness that it's feeling, if that makes sense. So you kind of want to find a good median in between. So even if you have oily skin, you might want to do like a oil-free moisturizer like this one, where it moisturizes the face so it doesn't dry it out, but it's not adding oil to the skin. I would not recommend any dewy, kind of your dewy oil and oily products. Those are more geared towards dry skin people who have dry skin, or if you have areas that are dry, like certain areas that are dry, you can add that primer or moisturizer there and then do your oil free everywhere else. But that's just kind of a summary. Like I said, I'm not a skincare expert, but I just wanted to throw that out there because we're trying to educate everybody. So yeah, so after your face is moisturized, and you can use, if you're like a cocoa butter kind of girl, you can do any of that. Like after you do your skincare routine, wash your face, whatever moisturizer you use, it's not super impactful on how your makeup turns out versus what primers you're gonna use. So I have 4 different primers I'm gonna mention today, and I'll just kind of tell you why I chose these ones. They're all drugstore primers and what their benefits are for me. So the NYX, again, this is a white packaging as well. It just is brown from being with my makeup. But this is the NYX pore filler. So when you have pores, which basically means your skin, you can see little like divots. I don't know if, okay, so up in here you can kind of see little divots in my skin, which are basically my pores. When you have pores that are more open like that, you want to use something like the NYX pore filler, which this kind of reminds me, it's basically almost like a putty texture, and it feels like your pores. So sometimes I'll just do this on one side. I'll massage this in, and you can kind of feel the texture. It's not oily, but as you can see, it kind of blurs out those pores. So the NYX pore filler is a good like primer preface before you go in with your foundation. One that I mentioned at the end of the video, which is why it's important for you to watch these videos all the way through, is because I mentioned a lot of things you guys asked in the comments in the video if you just watch all the way till the end, so stay tuned. But I mentioned the e.l.f. hydrating face primer in the last video, and this primer is really good for anyone who has dry skin. It adds kind of moisture to the face. Another one that is comparable to the pore filler is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and this is kind of like a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, but it kind of just has like, it's not as thick as the pore filler, but it has the same effect. So I like to use this as my primer, and I'm just going to show you guys the difference between this side, which I'm using that poreless primer. So my skin just looks smooth compared to like you can see those pores on this side, so it looks smoother when you use that primer. If you have oily skin, another primer that I like to use, like if my face is feeling extra dry, is the NYX Honey Do Me Up. And this is basically like a kind of an oil, I don't even know if it's an oil, but it has almost the texture of like aloe vera. Let me see. So it has like this thick, almost jelly-like texture, which I like using this when my face feels a little bit dry. So if you have dry skin, I would try one of these two. The e.l.f. is going to be more affordable, of course. But right now, since I already moisturized my face with this Mario Badescu moisturizer, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, which has been a recent fave. And although I'm rough with my skin, you're supposed to like be very gentle when you're rubbing these products. When you're rubbing these products in your face, you don't want to like, and you always want to go in an upward motion like this. Although you see me all the time doing it any other way, but you're supposed to go upwards. So now that we have the face primed, another thing I wanted to mention in this video was color correcting. Now this is not really beginner, it's a little bit more on the intermediate side, but I think it's important to let you know because these videos are going to be short because I'm chopping each section up. So we're just going to throw color correcting in. And again, you have your LA Girl Pro Concealer. And this concealer comes in different shades for highlighting, contour, and all of that, but they also have color correcting shades. I'll put a little chart up here if I can find one of what each shade does for you. But basically, if you're my skin tone and you kind of have dark marks in certain places, like over here I have some dark marks on my forehead, that's when you can go in and you can color correct. So you can use the tip of the tip of the product and brush it onto your face in those areas. And you don't have to do like a lot because a little bit goes a long way. Half the time when I do this, my face, the whole face looks red because I tend to be heavy-handed. And you can also use this if you have kind of dark under eyes. So we're gonna add just a little bit under the eyes. My under eye isn't super dark, but we're just gonna add a little bit. And from there, you can blend it out with like a sponge or a brush. So right now you can kind of see where the red was placed, but it cancels out that darkness, so it doesn't look as dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my foundation on, which the foundation we used in the starter makeup kit was the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, or you could use the Dewy, I think Dewy and Smooth foundation. A few other drugstore foundations I want to mention if for some reason the Fit Me isn't your cup of tea. The Maybelline Superstay 24-hour foundations are really good. They're more of a matte girl, so if you have super dry skin, this is probably not going to be the one for you. You'll want to go with the Dewy and Smooth foundation. And same with the Infallible Fresh Wear foundation. This is a really good foundation. It's not as mattifying as the Superstay foundation, but it's like a satiny finish. So if you're a dry skin girl, you might want to, or boy, you might want to add a little bit more of an oily base primer, or like a hydrating, not oily, hydrating face primer before you add this foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my foundation off camera because we already covered that in the beginner's starter makeup kit video. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll wrap up this video and stay tuned for the next. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how it looks when you put the foundation on top of that color corrector. But right here I've done this whole side with foundation, and you can see you don't really see any of those dark spots. And so this side doesn't have any foundation on it yet. And if you want to do less is more, because I'm a heavy-handed girl and I love applying to get the fullest of full coverage, you can put your foundation on the back of your hand and blend it out on the back of your hand so that is evenly distributed on the brush. This is a NYX face brush, the number 3. It is not one that I've mentioned to you guys before, I don't think, but this is a NYX number 3 brush. It is a little bit more on the pricey side. I want to say it was like maybe between $13 and $17, but this is a really good face brush. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do like a Holy Grail video, like Holy Grail products, Holy Grail brushes. I know a lot of people do their edges and stuff before you do your makeup. You want to make sure when you're doing your foundation, you kind of take your scarf off or whatever so you can blend into your hairline, so you don't have that line of demarcation. From here, you know I like to blend out with a blending sponge, so I'm just gonna do that really quickly. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. Hopefully y'all learned a little bit about primers and color correcting. I know it was a short video, but I just wanted to go over a few things. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. And make sure you stay tuned, subscribe if you are new, hit that subscribe button, join the Gem Squad. It basically means you're joining a community of people who are committed to loving themselves authentically and living a positive life. And stay tuned for the next video. I'll be highlighting and contouring and showing you guys and telling you guys all about the tea on how to do that. So if you're a beginner, stay tuned. Make sure you check out the rest of the beginner series. And y'all, without further ado, never forget, at the end of the day, without regrets, love yourself and be you. Tipple. Bye guys.